All right, guys, welcome to episode 19 of the Duck Chronicles. And you can see, unlike most mornings, though they've had fresh food and water, I haven't moved them yet. They're still in their mucky place from overnight. But the reason is we've reached a new stage. Many of you guys saw the adjunct that went out yesterday. We have reached the stage of freedom. So these guys are allowed out during the day now. And that means I can move this nastiness when they're all out and about. So let's see if they'll come out. They may not right away. And I don't force them out. I let them kind of come out on their own as they're ready to. And once one does, they all will. So, here we go. Fresh grass. That's always a tempting thing. So this is where life gets easier for us. The first step of getting easier was when we moved them outside. So we didn't have to have them in the house. We didn't have to clean out substrate every day, etc. We have to move this contraption twice a day because they poop it up. Well, the problem with that is you got to be really careful that you don't get a little webbed foot stuck underneath the heavy panels. They're not heavy to a person, but if you're one of those little girls there, that's pretty daggone heavy. So now we don't have to deal with that anymore. We've got everything going a heck of a lot easier, and because the main duck flock and Buddy the Goose and Joe the Goose are in other paddocks, we don't have to worry about these guys being bullied. And they can spend most of their day outside on a beautiful day like today. And you'll see, ducks like to stay together, so now they're trying to figure out how to get to each other through the fence. My hope is that they'll figure this out on their own over here, and they probably will. Every duck I've ever had has eventually figured this out. I've made them a little stairway on two sides, gave them a kiddie pool. Give them that cinder block as some help out. I might put another low cinder block in a few spots to help them out. But let's see if maybe they'll do it for us and come on in. Nope, they're not ready yet. They haven't figured it out. But I had some other Q&A I wanted to cover for you guys. I was asked, do we clip the wings of our ducks? Well, there goes a Muscovy right there. And we do clip their wings because they fly. Our domestic ducks, most of them are just too fat, too big, too heavy bodied to fly. Some of the smaller ducks can get up a little bit. If we ever have them actually go over a fence, we'll clip wings. Clipping wings is not a big deal, but I don't like to do it unless I have to. We have some lost babies. I'm going to go motivate them. Come on, babies. Come on. No, don't go back in there. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Just a little further. There it is. All right, go to the group. And that's just what makes ducks easier to manage than chickens. So we do clip wings when we have to. The geese all have their wings clipped because we had a goose go over to the street and get run over. They need a pretty big running start to get off the ground. Like I said, a few of the smaller breeds of our ducks do get up a little bit, but they don't seem to really have any intention to go anywhere else. Movement frequency, I was also asked about, like, okay, how long are, ducks going to be kept in a paddock? It's more of a response to the ground. So we know this area blows up really big in the spring. So even with these little guys grazing on it a bit, it'll still blow up. So I want to give it some time to get some recovery from all the grazing it's had. And I'll bring them back in. But in general, we'll probably bring them back every 2 weeks from one paddock to the next. So it'll be 2 weeks on one, 2 weeks on the next, 2 weeks on the third, and then back to the first one. That gives a month in between. But we'll always make decisions about that. And you can see they're nibbling on a little bush there. That's probably a blackberry. It's no big deal. They're just testing the waters, and they don't really want to eat that. So they'll spend most of their time now eating grass. I was also asked how I get them back in the pen. Well, you see how they all react? There's a big group of them up there. Now look what's happening back here. Everybody wants to be together, including the last one there, a little straggler. They all want to stay together in a group. So we just kind of move them in that direction, and they know where their food and water is, so they go home. We put them in last night. First time they were out, it was dramatically easy to get them back in. Was also asked about the zip ties and what brand. I'll put links in the show notes again today. I do have to let you guys know, sometimes you do math in your head incorrectly, and when you can do it quickly, you tend to do it incorrectly more often, I think, when you just assume things. I figured a 36-inch zip tie would go around a tie wrap, or around a cinder block. They don't. The ones I recommended, the 36-inch ones, don't. It's just that a cinder block it's 18 inches long. So 18 and 18 is 36, and 6 and 6, you're looking at what, 52 inches, or 42 inches there. So basically, I got the 36-inch tie wraps and put 2 together, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that because I bought extras anyway. So now they're all going to go check out the Muscovies, and we have to make sure the Muscovs aren't going to cause any trouble, but I don't think that they will. That sent them scattering. This is just a fun time when you have them out like this. So anyway, the zip ties that I recommend for, you know, holding together the hog panels and whatnot are just these little 6-inch ones right here. And you can see they have this little tab for release, and I'll put links to the big ones and the little ones that I've used. Finishing this again, I had a little hiccup there with the iPhone having too much of its memory used and had to wipe out a bunch of old videos I thought I'd already gotten rid of. Anyway, while I was doing that, the ducks have discovered the pool, and they are pretty excited about it. And it's good because they're going to get themselves a bath, and they probably need one after yesterday. And we got a group over there exploring. Again, this is a time where things get easier. Anyway, the tie wrap I was talking about, I use this little 6-inch one, so there'll be a link in the show notes for holding together fencing and stuff like that. They work real good for that. They're easy to work with. You might want to look at some longer ones. The longer ones I've been able to find on Amazon, they're convenient that they're longer, but they just don't work as good. They're more rigid. They're not as tough. They break easier. The little release valve on, or little release tab on them, is not quite as easy to use. So I've settled on those, and if I need them longer, I just put 2 together, and that's what I did with the long ones. Let's go take a look at the improvement to the fence that made, and it certainly did as Charlie and Max get their playtime in here. The rigidity that came by putting the fence down to the bottom of the top, the center blocks, and you can see I haven't trimmed them yet, but they're just 2 of them put together. They're big heavy-duty tie wraps, and this is nice and snug now. No worries about anybody climbing underneath it. I got to do the other fence yet, and I got to finish this one because I got to that block, and since I only brought out 2 packages, because I only thought I needed 2 packages, or actually 1 package, I didn't have enough to finish, so I'll finish that up. But anyway, that's worked out really, really well. I've got kiddie pools to fill. Dorothy's actually taking care of it for me today, so I don't have to worry about it too much, except she's going to need some help with a hose here in a minute. I've also been asked, why don't I just drill holes down in this rock, drive rebar in or whatnot? You know, I believe in using what you have, and we have all these cinder blocks just laying around. This is a simple solution, and when I go to move these, wherever I take them, they're ready to go. I can use them if I want to cut that field in half over there, or put them on a different property, or donate them to somebody. There ain't nothing special has to be done. They just need to plop down and have a fence rolled back out and set in place. So that's why I've done that. Anyway, we'll catch you guys tomorrow with another episode of the Duck Chronicles. Let's go see how everybody's doing. They want to know what's going on.